A whole 2 minutes early. I didn't know that was allowed. Details. I can post the announcement.
Hello, YouTube chat. Can I get confirmation you can hear us? Well, Willie said stinky. I don't know if that's a yes or a no.
I love doing everyone pings and the announcements.
What is it up to 1,000 yet? Because last I did it was like 900 people.
It tells you how many people it's pinging?
Normally it is. Normally it sends me this like, "Are you sure you want to ruin 900 people's day?" message, and I'm like, "Yes, actually I
Oh, I
do."
didn't I didn't get the specific number. I did get that warning. It's not the number.
Oh, so we probably passed whatever number they used to. Oh well. I Willie, can you confirm you hear tuba as well? Please and thank you.
Dang.
He wants you to say Willie is amazing, Tuba. You do not have to do that.
Willie's amazing at sucking up to.
Alrighty. Are we ready? I've got some lovely people here. We've kind of fumbled the intro, but that's what you get for us being 1 minute early. We didn't have time to prepare. Everybody knows me. I'm Stag. I'm the lovely voice that does this every season, kind of painfully. Um, with me, I have two lovely people. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Tuba here. Second time hosting something this off season after doing ISFL stream. I'm just happy I get to do these now.
I'm
Terrific.
Tim G. Some of our PBE folks will recognize me from the live streams over there. Happy to be here in booth for ISFL.
Perfect. We're gonna get the show on the road so I can go make sure I don't lose too much money on Chiefs Jaguars. First up, we have the Season 56 DSFL All Pro First Team Offense. At quarterback, we've got Drew McPew Jr., running back Jonathan Jameson, running back Random Joe, wide receiver Ruben Ira, and wide receiver Dalton Gross. I'll pause while our lovely hosts weigh in.
I haven't been paying that close of attention to DSFL. Tim, that might be more. I assume you've been on top of it. I know you've been tracking stats in general.
Only my stats.
Fair enough. I know I saw Drew McPew Jr. was he'd been doing well all season. I was very specifically watching that one because I don't enjoy it when people are overshadowing the Gek. Just
I
reigns supreme. But
yeah,
yes,
what
very much earned. If I recall correctly, he had most touchdowns by a long shot among the DSFL QBs.
I'm pulling up our well Kansas City also apparently went 11-2 this season in the DSFL, which feels absurd.
That helps a little,
And
and
yeah,
kind of romped their way to back-to-back ultimates.
yeah, as would be the case with two Coyotes on the first team All Pro. I'm gonna hit the
Pew pew
forward
pew to
button.
Ira connection.
I'm gonna hit the forward button. We're gonna see what happens next. We have the rest of the first team offense. We have for the Royals wide receiver Axel Bradley. For I think that's the Luchadors. I always confuse them with the other green teams. At tight end, Gengar Toaster. For the Pythons, we have tight end Joey Miller. For the Seawolves, inside offensive lineman or interior offensive lineman, we have Jimothy Small. At tackle for the Buccaneers, we have Schnitzel Rada and Willem Hall. So bookends for the Buccaneers, stepping up big.
Yeah, having both tackles. Left tackle, actually seeing a right tackle. That means we had a right tackle as an All Pro. That's pretty damn impressive.
Uh, they did lead the league in pancakes. And Schnitzel Rada put up 93 in 14 games, which feels kind of absurd. The next closest is the teammate at 70.
Yeah, because 93 in 14 games, at that point, you're on pace for some of the better ISFL tackles.
I don't. What is an average? I should know this as an offensive lineman. What's an average tackle put up?
Well, average or average good, like
Average
average
good.
All Pro consideration. Average
Yeah.
All Pro consideration, usually you're looking north of 110, 115.
Yeah. So he's at 106 on the 16 game average.
So
So
right up there. Yeah,
yeah, only gave up one sack too. All right.
good season.
I'm gonna hit forward again one more time. Congratulations, everyone. Ah, first team defense. Defensive tackle for the Coyotes. We have Turd Ferguson. Defensive tackle for the Luchadors, Derek Ward Jr. I'm sure that render comes from somewhere, but it's just gonna freak me out because I don't know where. Um,
It's Moon Knight.
ah, that also means nothing to me, but it is equally concerning. Um,
Marvel anti-hero.
okay, yes. I don't think I've seen any Marvel movie since like the original Iron Man. Um,
Technically not a movie, but beside the point. Continue.
uh, I'm just really showing my ass here. At defensive end for the Buccaneers, we have Roger Frontier. Defensive end for the Grey Ducks, the first Grey Duck, I have Reiner Braun. Um, Second Grey Duck now, outside linebacker, just Torchwood. Only one name, it is Torchwood. And outside linebacker for the Royals, we have Oopsie Wrong Ball, which is an absolutely iconic name.
Pretty good render there, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Get my DSFL stats going. I am not finding Reiner Braun, which I may be sorting improperly. But Torchwood did have a pretty insane year. Second in the league in TFLs, 9 sacks, a safety, 109 tackles. That's actually kind of disgusting. Oopsie wrong ball with 10 sacks. Some of these linebacker sacks in the or stats in the DSFL feel juiced.
Four forced fumbles apiece, too. And Torchwood
That's what
with
I'm
a
saying. Like,
safety.
which is crazy because then I sorted by most forced fumbles, and I'm going to assume we see Contos on the next page for Tijuana with 6 forced fumbles because that also feels insane. Which means I'm going to click because I want to find out.
Let's find out.
Congra- Congratulations, everyone. And I was right. I had inside linebacker for the
Yep.
Royals, which means the Royals have 2 linebackers on this. We have Adam Plays at cornerback for the Grey Ducks, Pete Keltrops at cornerback for the Bird Dogs. The first Bird Dog, we have TDs.
Yeah.
At safety for the Coyotes, we have DJ Hayes. And then at safety for the Luchadors, we have Stelio Contos.
Oh no, Ice Bear is the only Bird Dog first teamer. Something's wrong with the world.
I Ice Bear deserves it. I have no other further things to say about that. I just wanted to be polite.
But yeah,
I Lovely. I have
Very,
to
very worthy first team selection. So we'll have to see how their careers progress.
absolutely. DSL is about to get ravished by call-ups, mostly because Colorado called up a
Yeah.
lot of people. All right, congratulations all to all of our DSL first team All Pros. Holy English! We aren't a specialist though. For the Grey Ducks at kicker and punter, we have Sam Wayman, and at returner for the Buccaneers, we have Baudelaire, which I think is the first time I've ever pronounced that correctly. I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. He is one of the only people with a kick return touchdown, and he put up over 400 basically more kick return yards than the next closest person, and also had a punt return touchdown.
Is having
It,
more yards a good thing or a bad thing?
I assume it would be based off your average, right? Like, is it your fault that you have to do it more? But if you do it more, you do it, but do it really well, it's good.
Yeah.
And he has, I think, the highest average as well. He does with the most volume
And Wayman hitting 80% field goal.
in the
Pretty
DSL.
pretty solidly the best. I think there's the looking at it, the Kansas City bot kicker was next best, and then after that, nobody really got much over 70. So Wayman with a spectacular season for DSFL.
An absolutely juiced bot kicker, though. That's kind of insane. All right, congratulations to our specialists. We're on to the DSFL Offensive Performance of the Year. In week 5 for the Coyotes, we have McPew Pew Jr. In week 5 for the Royals, we have Jonathan Jameson. In week 3 for the Seawolves, we have Scott Justice. In week 5, also for the Coyotes, I'm assuming assisting McPew Pew Jr., we have Ruben Ira. And then week 9 for, I think that's the Pythons back there, we have Alexandros Mogren, like migraine without the I.
Something in the water week 5 there.
I gotta pull up this Coyotes week 5 game because that feels something feels like it went on. That's just me. It's a 38-6 win over the Buccaneers. Pew Pew went 24 of 39 for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks.
And
Of
all
that,
4 of those touchdowns were to
but
Ruben Ira.
we're to Ira. That is insane. I don't know which is more impressive, but I'm going to be biased and say the receiver.
Well, let's see what everyone voted for here.
Let's find out. Okay, 1 second. I gotta pause before I hit the next button. I looked up the other week 5 for Jonathan Jameson. 28 attempts, 28 rushes, 272 yards.
How do you only score 1 touchdown with that?
You went up and down the field 3 times, bro. In a losing effort, mind you, which that's even crazier. How you give up 272 yards on the ground and lose. Let's see. Scott Justice went 13 carries for 105 yards and 4 touchdowns in week 3 for the
Casual
Seawolves.
4 touchdowns.
Just 4 touchdown games for everyone except Jonathan Jameson. Um, and then week 9 for the Pythons. Mograine, 4 receptions on 8 targets for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm going Ira or Jameson.
Oh,
And I was wrong. It is
with
Drew
Pew.
McPew Jr. Congratulations, my friend.
I mean, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and just about 300 yards on only 39 attempts. Not bad.
That
Not
is
bad at all.
that is crazy. Congratulations, Flex. That is Flex's quarterback. Next up, we have Defensive Performance of the Year. In Week 12 for the Grey Ducks, we have Torchwood. In Week 8 for the Royals, we have Oopsie Wrong Ball. In Week 9 for the Luchadors, we have Silas Santana. And in Week 5 for the Bird Dogs, we have a render that is staring into my soul, Drew LaChance. Let's see. In Week
The chance
12,
part of the reason why Jameson put up 300, almost 300 yards and lost. The chance had a forced fumble and and fumble recovery, along with an interception and a defensive touchdown.
I might be looking at the stats wrong, but Torchwood in Week 12 had 6 tackles and 1 PD. I'm going to assume that is an incorrect something on our sheet.
Probably.
Wrong ball in Week 8, 14 tackles, 1 TFL, and 2 sacks. So that's a crazy game. 14 tackles is a lot. And then Santana in Week 9 with 3 interceptions and 1 for a touchdown.
Damn.
That's Ohio Rizzler numbers. But oopsie wrong ball in Week 8 with the 14 tackle performance brings it home. Congratulations, oopsie. We now have to find
I
out.
mean, after that week, I would give him the award in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Summerstood, the user behind oopsie wrong ball. Next up, Offensive Rookie of the Year in the DSFL. For the Bird Dogs, we have 2 options. We have Dan Smith, and we have Jikubus. Am I supposed to pronounce it all as one word, Tuba?
I've always pronounced it Gekbus, but I've heard other people say GQ-bus. I don't know.
Yeah. Either one, it works. We're gonna have to have him give an award speech if he wins. For the Seawolves, we have Vlad Wolf. For the not Bird Dogs, Grey Ducks, we have Joshua Frederick and Flick Davis. And for the Buccaneers, we have XBL Kamish. So since we have a Bird Dog on the call, give me the Bird Dog breakdown, Tuba. How do you feel?
I mean, the Gekbus is obviously the best. Many people are saying it. So the expectation is that he's always winning.
All right. I think that I see nothing wrong there. Pulling up everybody else now. Dan Smith with a solid year, 9 touchdowns, 730 yards on the ground. Frederick a little bit better, a little more touchdowns. Assuming Flick Davis is a receiver. He is indeed almost 1,000 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. So we've got options here. Davis significantly better than XBL Kamish, 700 yards on the ground for Kamish with only 2 touchdowns. So it's either a quarterback award or it's not. And it's Flick
Flick
Davis.
Davis.
Almost 1,000 yards on the ground for a rookie receiver. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Congratulations, friend. That is user Flick Davis behind player Flick Davis.
Congratulations.
Next up, we have DSFL, Defensive Rookie of the Year. For the Grey Ducks, once again, we have Torchwood. Just one name, Torchwood. We've got Melvin the Moose Baca for the Seawolves. And absolutely outstanding render as well. For the Bird Dogs, Ice Bear makes his second appearance of the show. For the Pythons, Leo Gonzalez, freshly off not being invited to the Office remake here. And then for the Grey Ducks, Earl Grey, which I think is Cool Cats recreate.
Yes.
I feel correct with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's either Torchwood or TDs because they were the only 2 that were also first team All Pros, but that feels like cheating.
Well,
Let's find
Let's
out.
find out.
yeah.
Congratulations to
Torchwood indeed.
Torchwood. Let's see.
Yeah. Once again,
Use-
109 tackles, 15 TFLs, 9 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, safety. Heck of
User
a season.
Hoovian. So apparently Hoovian's second player is also absolutely cracked. Doctor Who, arguably best defensive tackle of all time behind Big Ed. Let's see. DSFL Special Teams Player of the Year. We have Alex Baudelaire and his insane returning season. For the Bird Dogs, we have Richard Shoes. For the Grey Ducks, we have Sam Wayman and his kicker punter extraordinaire season. And for the Buccaneers, we have door holder number 3, which is a reference I do not understand.
I don't know, but I
What's
do love
behind
it.
door number 3 is the reference.
I guess, but do babies hold open the doors for game shows?
Could be a new game show. I don't know. Who's to say?
Could be.
The ISFL almost had the Bachelorette. It might be time for our first Wheel of Fortune game show.
I
Uh,
have to imagine it would go better than The Bachelorette.
yes. I'm going to cheat again, and I'm going to say this is probably either Alex Baudelaire or Sam Wayman for the aforementioned reasons of them being the only two with first team All Pros, and
Yep.
also kind of insane seasons. I'm gonna go also out on a limb and wager that the other two individuals with people right behind them in their respective categories, which I would be right, Richard Shoes was the second returner,
Yep.
and I'm gonna guess door number 3 is a
He is
lovely
a
kicker,
kicker.
and he did kick very well from short distances, but those 30 to 39 distances apparently ate their lunch.
Made good punting though.
Congratulations. Oh, absolutely a great punter. Congratulations to Alex Baudelaire, user UNHP.
Having
Moving on.
hard to choose against that with multiple return touchdowns in a single season.
And just basically double everyone else's return yards while still having the highest average. That
Yep.
math doesn't make sense to me.
Just
Uh,
that good.
I guess. Moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. We have for the Coyotes, McPew Jr., Flex making an appearance again. For the Buccaneers, we have Schnitzel Rada. For the Royals again, Jonathan Jameson. For the Luchadors making an appearance, financial planning. Always good to plan financially. For the Pythons, Random Joe. And for the Seawolves, Dalton Gross.
Gonna go out on a limb and say McPew's not gonna win this one for reasons that we'll see probably later.
Are you saying he wins MVP?
That'd be my guess. A little bit,
Mm,
but yeah, Snitchell Rada absolutely deserves to be on this. Certainly in this in the running here after that kind of season for a tackle. I know it's very rare for offensive linemen to win anything like this, but impressive season for sure.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is Snitchell Rada just because somebody with 25 more cakes than the next closest offensive tackle feels cracked. But it could be
Yeah,
anyone.
I don't really know. I I'm just gonna take a random guess and go with Random Joe.
All right, I respect
I'm
it.
guessing it'll be Jameiston, but yeah, because
Probably.
the league does not give offensive linemen their due.
Fair
But
rubs, but unfortunately Tuba is correct, but not unfortunately for Jonathan Jameson, who brings
to be
home the
fair,
award.
Jameiston did have a pretty insane season.
Yeah.
Almost 1,500 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Uh, that's 26 catches for another 241 yards.
Congratulations to Joriel. I hope you screenshot this and hang it on your desk at work.
Over
Moving on
1,700 yards.
to Defensive Player of the Year. Once again, for the Grey Ducks, we have Torchwood. For the Royals, Oopsie Wrong Ball. For the Bird Dogs, Ice Bear and TDs. For the Luchadors, Derek Ward Jr. For the Coyotes, DJ Hayes. And for the Grey Ducks, Earl Grey. If I'm correct, Torchwood was our Defensive Rookie of the Year, correct?
Yes, they
Defensive
were.
Rookie of the Year and first team All Pro, though along with Oopsie Wrong Ball
And TDs.
and TDs.
We've
I
got
think
some
Earl Grey was
competition
mixed
here.
in there somewhere too.
Oh, yeah, Earl Grey was on that Rookie of the Year sheet, I think. Also, Insane Render, whose name I can never remember, but I like every movie he's in. Congratulations to Torchwood and Whovia's second cracked player. She's got the cheat
First
code,
team All
guys.
Pro, first team All-Pro, defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year.
Just the awards cabinet is long already. Moving on to general manager of the year for the DSFL. We have 6 of the 8 teams. We have the Bird Dogs and DMAC, and I do not know if this should be
LGLAC.
LGLAC. Okay, I was gonna
That's
pronounce them all as one word. I mostly for the memes. For the Coyotes, we have Dev and Shawnee. For the Royals, we have Lunar and Scamps. For the Grey Ducks, we have Griff and Noel. For the Seawolves, we have Dude Man and Pyro. And for the Pythons, we have Casey and the Sparky D. On the,
Curious why there are 6 on the ballot out of 8 teams, but all right.
I just, everybody deserves recognition. However, I think it's really tough to
Except for the 2
argue.
teams that didn't.
Yes, everyone in the DSFL North is on this page. However, Monday Beach and Tijuana sadly did not. That is not to disrespect their seasons. However, Kansas City in an 11-2 season en route to a title probably take the cake.
That'd be my guess, yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City, the Coyotes.
Let's find out. Congratulations to
Yep.
Dev and Shawnee.
And congrats on your back-to-back Ultimates on your way out.
The Kansas City dynasty is strong. Moving on, we have most dedicated member for this year. We have Grilled Cheese Sandy's, our current most recent first overall pick, and Dark Taker.
Both have been all over the place in chat. Can see them all, like basically anywhere. Been nice to see some new faces around the league.
Absolutely. Both deserving. Let's find out. It's our boy Sandy's. Congratulations, my friend. From first overall pick to most dedicated member, that pipeline also remains strong. And finally, an absolute gigantic slide. Most valuable player. For the Coyotes, Pew 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 Jr. For the Buccaneers, Schnitzel Rada. For the Royals, Jonathan Jameston. For the Luchadors, Financial Planning. For the Pythons, Random Joe. For the Seawolves, Dalton Gross. For the Grey Ducks, Torchwood. For the Royals, Oopsie Wrong Ball. For the Bird Dogs, TDs. For the Luchadors, Derek Ward Jr. For the Coyotes, DJ Hayes. And for the Grey Ducks, Earl Grey. And I think we all have a suspicion on who this award is going to.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a shoo-in.
If it is not McPew Pew Pew Jr., I will be shocked.
The the QB of the ultimate winning team putting up the best QB line of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be Schnitzel Rada because Farabs do matter. However, congratulations to Flex and Drew McPew Jr., your season 56 DSFL most valuable player.
It's nice seeing a QB actually actively do well. Last couple of seasons in ISFL, it hasn't been so much. So having a DSFL QB actually like truly put up some monster numbers, it's nice. It's impressive.
Congratulations, Flex. Moving on, we have our second team, offense and returner for the All-Pro for the ISFL. With New Orleans at quarterback, we have Confurious Wilson. At running back for the Hawks, Dazen Guile. At running back for the Outlaws, Dalinar Summers. At tight end for the second line, Automatic. At wide receiver for the Chubby Rhinos, we have Chala Farmer. At wide receiver for the Hawks, we have Maria Teresa De La Rosa. At wide receiver for the Copperheads, we have Sear Eal, I think. At
Cereal.
offensive, I think it's supposed to be cereal, but
Yeah, cereal. Also, it's Hall of Famer.
okay. I'm gonna retire. This is My time is over. Somebody should go back and compile an absolute uh, mess of what do you call it, a video of my mistakes. Anyway, at
Montage.
offensive, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. At offensive tackle for the Copperheads, we have Honda Civic. At offensive tackle for Cape Town, Gadget. I know better. I know better. I respect it. Oh, I could get the last one. Bohemicus, but
Accuteramus.
Acuteramus Bohemicus. Alrighty. Uh, at interior offensive line for the Kaiju, Rusty Rags. At interior offensive line for the Sailfish, Klaus Reinhardt. At interior offensive line for the Copperheads offensive line, very strong this year. We have Boss Chud. And at kicker, Blow Cage. Congratulations, friends. For defense and kicker, at defensive tackle for the Sabercats, we have Princess Donut, orbiting death. At defensive tackle for the Otters, we have Polly Wag. The defensive end for the Outlaws, Braxton East.
That should be for the Wraiths.
The Race, yes. At defensive line for the Hawks, Draven Chanos. Outside linebacker for the Kaiju, Sebastian Rosenthal. At outside linebacker for the Silverbacks, Joe Blaze. At inside linebacker for the second line, Oxford Comma. At corner for the Wraiths, recently traded, David Corrigan. At corner for the Hahalua, Dixon Yamada. At safety for the Hawks, Lyle Taylor. At safety for the Sabercats, Tackle Merchant. At defensive back, Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Yeti. At punter for the Chubby Rhinos, we have Jensen Wild. And at returner for the Silverbacks, we have Speed Hog. Congratulations all. I'll see if we can get Infi to fix the slide to reflect the Wraiths for Braxton East.
I had to go check and make sure I didn't accidentally give him the wrong information because I was manually typing those out. So it would not have surprised me, but
Hey, it happens.
yeah.
All right, for our first team offense at quarterback, and probably an MVP contender. Actually, I think everyone on this slide is probably an MVP contender. For the Hawks, we have no picks. At fullback, Mako Mendonca Jr. At running back, Julian McMorris II. And at running back, Quincy Robinson. I know Pix has essentially submitted himself as having a great quarterback year this year. And he's always kind of in the conversation. Just very efficient, 31 touchdowns and 7 picks. McMorris had an absolutely cracked running back season, especially when you figure his returning, which I don't think factors in all pro, but still. I have to fold Quincy Robinson's stats. Third in the league in rushing with 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns. So a considerable amount of paydirt and a really solid average at 5.3, which is better than McMorris.
Actually, I think the most impressive thing about no picks, he led the league in touchdowns and had the fewest interceptions on having the fewest or had the fewest pass attempts.
That
Tied
is
for
that
the
is
league lead in touchdowns with the fewest pass attempts.
that is crazy. And the Hawks just had a very strong season as well.
Yep.
Alrighty. Congratulations, friends. For the rest of the first team offense, at wide receiver, we have Ben Ye. At wide receiver for the Sabercats, Golden Erickson. At wide receiver for the Outlaws, one that will try to trip me up but won't, Xander LaRue. And at tight end for the Otters, Deacon Blues.
I think
Oh,
for the first time I can remember, all three of the first team wide receivers were unanimous first team All Pros.
that
Like,
wouldn't surprise me. All three were kind of insane seasons, and of course, two on the chase for the record for touchdowns too. It's 18 touchdowns feels ridiculous.
oh yeah, and the yards per target. I know some people get upset about All Pro focusing on the efficiency stats, but yards per target is a pretty nice overall encompassing efficiency stat. It's yards per catch and your catch rate all in one. Um, it's rare for anyone to get 10 yards per target. Both what was it? Both Beignet and Xander LaRue had over 11.
Yeah, that's
Like that's insane numbers. Every time they were thrown the ball, the team was getting a first down on
uh,
average.
Siegel, another person whose wide receiver is also cracked. Congratulations, friends. Moving on to the offensive line. At offensive tackle, Swantavius Stack and Traffic Cone for the Sailfish and Otters, respectively. At interior offensive line, Geriatric for the Outlaws, Lake and Macon for the Hahalua, and Cedric Thoreau. I'm going to go with that for the
Or
Cape
I
Town
usually
Crash.
I usually say Therialt. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it though.
I need a pronunciation guide next year.
Or everyone can just
Congratulations.
keep making more and more complicated names.
I think at this point that it is directly targeted at me. Uh, and that's what helps me sleep at night. I will say, we talked about really strong offensive line seasons with the DSFL. Um, Swantavius
Swantavius Stack, 145 pancakes. That is 12%. 12% of his snaps were he pancaked someone.
yes,
That's absurd.
like could have set the record if I am correct as well. Like had an outside shot. I would
If
be
he had
remiss.
taken more snaps, there's some offensive linemen out here who are approaching 1,300 snaps. Swantavius Stack barely reached 1,200. If
So the
if he
sail,
was if the Sailfish had just taken more snaps on offense, Stack probably holds the record.
so the Sailfish need a higher tempo next year, and
That's what I'm hearing.
Stack might be able to do it. Congratulations, friends. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, the one that will trip me up at defensive tackle for the Halua, Nijimura. No one's
Sounds right to
correcting me.
me.
I'm going to go with it. At defensive
Okuyasu
tackler
Nijimura.
for the Crash, Dunkler Sour Wine. At defensive end for the Brood, Brick Wall. At flex defensive lineman for the Outlaws, J.C. Tomlinson. At outside linebacker for the Sabercats, Senior Sayao. And outside linebacker for the Hahalua, Maurice Gunner.
New year, new linebacker, still Sabercats linebacker and first team All Pro. I
Some
don't know
things
what
never
they're doing.
change. It is worth highlighting that, if I am correct, the uh, Nijimura was on pace to set some crazy records. All time, it looks like it's number three all time in defensive line tackles for loss, and number two all time for defensive line sacks for an individual season for defensive line, which is insane.
And then the more random stat, I know a lot of people don't tend to put as much weight on it just because it is kind of random. But if I recall correctly, there has not been a single defensive lineman in the history of the league, or at least no defensive tackle, who has had more than one career defensive touchdown. Nijimura had two this season alone.
Which I think is also the record now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just an absurd season all around. And
Congratulations,
somehow
guys.
somehow Dunkler Sour Wine, while having also an outlier season, gets overshadowed. Like this might be the single best defensive tackle season at least in my memory.
Really good across the board. Congratulations, all. The rest of the defense. At inside linebacker for the Brood, Phantom Ghost. At corner for the Halua, Ricafort Cotswold. At corner for the Yeti, uh, Skibbity Yacht, Ohio Rizzler. Yes, I just said that out loud. At safety for the second line, Count Savim. At safety for the Rays, Carlin Creekus. And at defensive back for the Silverbacks, Pisley Husk.
I like how Ohio Rizzler had a first team All Pro season on a corpse player.
It took a long time for him to not get absolutely burned like a grilled cheese in my frying pan most nights. Um, but he did it, and now we have to say goodbye to our sweet prince.
If that's what you want to call him, sure.
You
He
know,
looks as, he looks as surprised as we are.
I I love Astro Cloud. Insert newest username here. But the fact that I will not have to watch any Skibbity Toilet now is an incredible thing in my life.
They were going to make it into a movie. Actually, at one point, Skibbity Toilet.
I I'm glad his player has retired before that was made. That would have absolutely been a contract demand, considering that there is media out there from me ranking like the first 100 episodes of Skibbity Toilet.
Oh dear.
Oh no!
I'm glad that flew under the radar. Anyway, congratulations as well, our other DBs. Roque with a great 8 interception season, and Pisley with a solid 6, but with 35 PDs. I know Kreekus was the back end of a really strong Rays defense this year. So just really great defensive performances across the board.
Yep.
And finally, our kickers and specialists. At kicker and punter for the Sailfish, we have Marshall von Hildebrand. And at returner, we have Julian McMorris II, who, if I'm correct, was one return away from setting the return record for touchdowns because he had 2 kick returns and 1 punt return.
Oh yeah, and over almost 32 yards per return on kick returns. Solid almost 10 yards per return on punts. Like that was an insane season. And then von Hildebrand also just absolutely absurd. 31 of 34 kicking over, so 90% field goal rate. Only kicker this season to get over 90%, despite kicking 11 attempts from over 50 yards.
Yeah, that is
Like
crazy.
all three of Hildebrand's misses were 40 plus. There was one from the 40s and 2 from the 50s. And again, 11 attempts from 50 plus. An
So
absurd season. Then
very solid
just
years.
lapped the field in punt average. Half of his punts landed inside the 20. Ridiculous
Congrat
season.
Congratulations all. Moving on to offensive performance of the year. In week 1 for the Crash, uh, we just went over this. Acutaramus Bohemicus gadget. And week 1 for the Bongo Kitties, Wilson Godebert. In week 9 for the Copperheads, Maiko Mendonca Jr. In week 7, both for the Sabercats, Ben Ye and Kim Furious Doth Wilson. I'm imagining it was the connection between the two. And then in week 13 for the Sailfish, Shrubadub.
So I mentioned earlier, the league does not properly value offensive line. Bohemicus, I believe, set the single game record with 21 pancakes in one game,
I do think that's correct, yes.
and no sacks allowed. Just
Quality game.
absolute domination there.
Unfortunately,
Godebert
the week
with 11.
7. Oh, go ahead, my fault.
I was gonna say, Godebert with 11 carries for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Caught 6 for another 76 and a touchdown. Mendonca, week 9, if I recall correctly, he had like 200 yards as a fullback. Something
I
crazy.
didn't
And
know the
then
Sim would
Shrubber,
hand off to the fullback that much.
I mean, Austin's its own breed. Yeah, Mendonca, 12 carries for 226 yards.
Absolutely insane.
And then I think Shrubadub, week 13, 28 of 37 for 420 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then there's
I
the Nola pair in week 7.
which is just an absurd game from Beignet.
I mean, quite frankly, both of them. Wilson, in his own right, 348 yards, 5 touchdowns. Beignet, 9 catches for 184 and 4 touchdowns.
I am biased here, and I think that I'm going to go with Gadget in week 1 because offensive line is insane. But my heart is telling me that it's probably Beignet.
Probably. But definitely shout out for Boheme. Definitely shout out Gadget for the absolutely insane offensive line stat.
You feeling good down there, Tim?
Yeah, just uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know much about these players, so I'm just listening and chiming in.
Hey, no sweat, man. All right, let's find out. It is Beignet in week 7. Also, I would like to highlight, just to put it out there that I've seen it, that Wille is pinging people in Gin Chat every time I mispronounce the name, and apparently there is a drinking competition going on. So, I do think the league cabal is out to get me here.
I will make my next player especially difficult for you to pronounce.
It's okay. I have the newest rookie for the Yeti was his entire contract in wingdings, which I can't catch a break. My rule that I'll sign any contract is biting me in the butt. Moving on.
You in PBE when I had the player Big
Maybe.
Israel Israel Kamuno Haiku Kaneki Hage.
Why?
Big
Isn't there?
is.
That would have that. Alrighty. Defensive performance of the year
I did
in
it
week
purposely to mess with the streamers.
in week 6 we have for the Hahalua Nijimura. In week 8 for the Halalua, we have Cotswold. In week 10 for the Crash, we have Dunkler. In week 12 for the second line, we have Severin. In week 13 for the Hawks, we have Hawk to Me. And week 13 for the Outlaws, we have the 4th iteration of JQ.
Yeah, definitely some impressive numbers here. Nijimura week 6, 9 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 sacks, 2 fumbles, 1 recovered, and then a touchdown. Cotswold, I believe, was 6 tackles, 5 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. Week 10 for Sour Wine. 13 tackles, a TFL, a sack, and then 2 forced fumbles, recovered both of them. Trying to catch up on what all the stat lines are here.
Oh, you're totally good. I was hoping they were on the Google Doc I sent earlier, and they are not.
They are not. Severin with 9 tackles, a TFL, 2 forced fumbles, 1 recovered, and a pick 6 as well, or at least an interception and a touchdown. I don't know if that came off the
Yeah,
fumble return or interception.
and then Nijimura had 9 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks, and then 1 TD in that week.
Yep. Hawk to Me with Baltimore. Oh, geez. 3 PDs, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown, which I guess, I mean, technically the sim counts every interception as a pass deflection. So 3 interceptions, one of which was a pick 6.
Some
And then
absolutely crazy.
Then JQ with sack, two forced fumbles, and one of them recovered for a touchdown. So multiple 3 interception games on this list.
And mind you, I'm fairly certain that this leaves off the Rizzler 3 interception performance as well. A lot
Yup.
of 3 interception performances in the league this year.
Yup.
All right, I'm gonna go with Nijimura just because I think the league wants me to have to say the name again.
defensive tackle touchdowns. Let's go.
We respect thick boys.
Yep.
It is Nijimura. Congratulations.
those twos across the board is an insane stat line for a defensive tackle.
Oh, absolutely. Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Sailfish, we have the team of Shrubadub and Slater Williamson. For the Kaiju, we have Calvin Calamari. For the Copperheads, we have Boss Chud and Trunk Gibbles. And for the Rays, we have Hawk DeBow, the ball, the BO. Literally tag people for a drink.
But
Alrighty.
yeah, the Sailfish passing game cooking as always. So despite having two rookies on it, they were going just fine. Calvin Calamari, if I recall correctly, so Calamari actually lined up as a tight end um, more often than not. Still had 135 targets though, and 12 touchdowns. So
I
that's pretty amazing.
Sometimes those non-tight ends at tight ends put up some insane seasons, like the pretty mediocre one from like 5 or 6 years ago, where he was just
Yep,
absolutely cracked.
yep. Boss Chud as a rookie was had the second most pancakes among all interior offensive linemen. So good build there. Trunk Gibbles, solid blocking season, 56 pancakes, still putting up 422 yards.
We love
Hawk
tight
DeBow,
ends.
despite mostly playing behind Animal Blundetto, still managed to put up 657 rushing yards, 193 receiving, 8 total touchdowns. Kept vulturing all those Blundetto touchdowns for everyone in fantasy.
I'm torn on either Hawk or Shrubadub. Don't know who to feel.
I have to imagine it's going to be Shrubadub. He
Feels like a
for
quarterback award.
to be fair, Shrubadub, I know he didn't actually get either All Pro spot, but he was very much in that conversation, right next to Confurious Dith Wilson for second team.
Mm.
No picks ran away with first team, but he was right there. For a rookie to be putting up that kind of stat line is pretty insane. I think he led the league in passing yards, over almost 4,500.
All right, let's find out. And it is Shrubadub. Congratulations, Shrub.
4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. Very nice rookie year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Colorado Yeti, Mercedes Lamborghini. For the Kaiju, yeah, Vlomfelt.
Aaron Blomfeld.
For the Rays, Winter Creekus. For the Rays, Carlin Creekus. And for the Yeti, Obi-Wan Pignobi. So good Yeti and Wraith representation here.
Well, Picnobi was an All-Pro. Carlin Creekus was an All-Pro.
I I'm gonna wager, because of the narrative, that the Creekus defense was insane for the Rays, which it was. I'm gonna go with Carlin Creekus, but I'm biased and also would love it to be a Yeti.
I mean, Carlin Creekus was first-team All-Pro. Hard to
Hard to argue.
hard to argue with that.
Let's find out. Oh, we're all wrong. It's Vlomfelt, who I think they
Jim
just wanted me to say that.
Blomfeld, outside linebacker for Osaka, 14 TFLs.
Good rookie year. Outside linebacker remains undefeated. Congratulations, friend. Returner of the year. We have for the Hawks, great render, Jeff Landshark. For the Yeti, Julian McMorris II. For the Hahalua, Caleb the Geico Camel. For the Silverbacks, Speedhawk. For the Copperheads, Serial. And for the Brood, Tom Turbo, also a great render. I think this
Uh,
is one person.
yeah, the we have a ballot, and there were some very impressive return seasons in general. But yeah, McMorris just had one of the best return seasons of all time.
Yes.
I have to imagine ran away with it.
Uh, let's find out. And congratulations to Julian McMorris II, kicker and punter of the year. For the Sailfish, we have Marshall von Hildebrand. For the Hawks, Blow Cage. For the Ha'alua, Kiki Martin. For the Brood, Athena McKenzie. And for the Wraiths, Adam Vittori.
Well, Hildebrand kind of dominated. Same thing
It's the same
as
thing.
the returner. There were some other good seasons to be sure, but Hildebrand had an absurd season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Hildebrand.
Let's find out. Congratulations to Marshall von Hildebrand. An
And
insane
that
kicking and punting
glorious hair.
season.
And that glorious hair and facial hair.
Finally, we are down to our final awards. Offensive Player of the Year. For the Hawks, we have no picks. For the Yeti, Julian McMorris II. For the second line, Ben Ye. For the Sailfish, Swantavius Stack. And for the Copperheads, Mendonca Jr.
Similar to the DSL awards, I have a strong suspicion McMorris is not going to win Offensive Player of the Year.
I uh
But
I think this is either picks McMorris or Yay. That's my thinking.
I'd guess picks or yay. Although kudos to Stack once again. I know this again. Offensive line is not appreciated enough, but 145 pancakes. Damn good season on the offensive line. And Mendonca, while not having quite as many counting stats for a fullback, to have almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns.
We've come so far that a fullback is on the ballot, and someday we shall hopefully see an offensive lineman win this because 140 plus pancakes is disgusting.
Yeah,
I am gonna think Ben Ye though, tying the touchdown record. I mean,
Same here, yeah.
I'd imagine.
find out. Congratulations to Toof and Ben Ye, Defensive Player of the Year. For the Ha'alua, making another appearance, we have Nijimura. For the Crash, we have Dunkler. For the Wraiths, David Corrigan. For the Sabercats, Senior Seau. For the Ha'alua, Roquefort Cotswold. And for the Ha'alua, the third player on the Player of the Year ballot, we have Maurice Gunner.
Honolulu defense was just something else.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna go to Nijimura.
If we're using the logic that one of the Offensive Player of the Year non-winners wins MVP, this is probably Nijimura. But if there's ever been a
It,
season that a defensive tackle should win MVP, it is also this season.
Nijimura had one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackle season of all time. That being said, Senior Seau, I think, just set the sack record this season as well.
Did he?
20 with 25 sacks, or at least the sack record in the new sim.
Yeah, for the new one. You can check that now on the
So
new portal, can't you?
I think so.
Let's find out. It will probably take forever.
Isn't that in the sheet?
Maybe. We're gonna go by season, stats per season. Search. I don't know how long this thing takes to load, so we could be here really awkwardly until somebody pings me and says he did.
Let's see. Oh, okay, so Senior Seau is number 2 all time for single season sacks. I don't know if that's number 2 for at
For the
least
new
number 2
sim.
all time. Number 2 in new sim.
I'm gonna go to the
Well,
next award, and then I'll let you know as soon as it loads.
certainly up there. But yeah,
Yes.
some very good seasons. I think Corrigan
All
with
right.
9 forced fumbles as
It's
well.
gonna be it's gonna be the highest all time in new sim because Jace Tuck is the first.
So yeah, the holding senior Seiya holding the sack record in the new sim. Nijimura with quite possibly, well, not quite, certainly the best defensive tackle season in the new sim. Um, David Corrigan with 9 forced fumbles, Cotswold with 8 interceptions, Maurice Gunner with only 23 sacks, but arguably a more well-rounded resume than Senior Seau. Some pretty insane defensive tackle or defensive seasons in general.
Absolutely. Let's find out. And it is Nijimura. Congratulations.
A lot of
Last,
very, very much deserved. Wish we could give more than one.
I guess that's what All Pro was, since we don't give positional awards anymore, sadly.
True.
But for my sake, I'm also glad we don't, because they make the stream take forever. General Managers of the Year, 6 nominees. For the Hawks, we have Swanky and Swoosh. For the Yeti, Tubby Tim and myself. For the Crash, Psychro and LCC. For the Haalua, Huds and Ice Bear. For the Sabercats, Irk and Russ. And for the Wraiths, Homer and Junie.
Guessing I'd have to guess Colorado or Honolulu. Honolulu for winning, Colorado for really outperforming expectations. I think preseason predictions had you guys mostly fourth or fifth.
I do not think we do or should win this, but I do think it is fair to say that we went 11-5, and more people would have bet we went 5-11, including myself.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go to Honolulu. Typically, the team that does better and wins it all typically gets general manager of the year, or at least that's how it is in PBE.
I agree.
Yeah, a lot of good
I
seasons
would,
all around.
yeah, I would wager that this is Honolulu or probably Cape Town. A good 13-3 season. Let's find out. Congratulations to Honolulu.
The ultimate winning GMs.
Yes. I'm trying to remember when HUD's stepped down. I think this should be DMAC, if I'm correct as well. So I think they changed over at the start of August. But HUD's gets his name on the screen.
And gets the fun trophy in the forums. DMAC has to go get his own.
Absolutely. DMAC just has to win another one of these, and then he'll get his name on there.
There we go. But then that
I
means Ice Bear's going to win.
I feel like there are several seasons Ice should have probably won one. So, it feels
Probably.
fair at this point.
Probably.
Congratulations all. Most dedicated member for this season. We have Bajan, one of the two. I've heard both. I'm going to go with it. We have Lemon Poppy. I refuse to believe that it's Lemon Oppy. We have Tuba, our lovely illustrious co-host, and we have Willie.
It is worth mentioning. Lemon should not be on here. I think he was the fastest person to be user Hall of Fame in league history. He is now ineligible for the award.
Also, an
Otherwise, he'd be
incredibly
winning it every
deserving user
season.
Hall of Fame.
Yes. Otherwise, he'd be winning this award. I think it'd be him and Austin going back and forth.
Yes, or Infinite.
Or yeah, three of them just rotating, taking turns.
Alrighty, all very deserving individuals.
To be fair, Lemon did make that awesome updater tool that makes updating so much easier.
The entire portal.
They also had updater tool before the portal. I remember using that a lot.
Oh yeah, all very deserving individuals. Let's find out. Tuba, do you have your speech prepared?
I do not. I do appreciate it though.
Congratulations, my
Congrats.
friend. Is this your first?
It is.
Well
I think I've
deserved,
been
and
like I've been runner up behind Lemon and Austin for like the last calendar year, which understandable, but
well
now that
deserved, my friend. Well deserved.
now that they can't win it anymore, finally.
uh, let's find
That
out. I
was
think
your plan all. That was your plan all along, or wasn't it?
it's become Hall of Fame voter, get everyone into user Hall of Fame, and eventually it has to trickle down. Trickle down award nomics. Finally, the most valuable player. For the Hawks, we have no picks. For the Yeti, Julian McMorris II. For the Ha'alua, Nijimura. For the Crash, Connor Craig Jr. For the Sabercats, Senior Seau. And for the Wraiths, David Corrigan. Wouldn't it be a
I
shame
think
if
it's
my
gonna be
stream crashed now?
McMorris.
It's got to be McMorris. That was an absolutely absurd season.
If McMorris doesn't win it, I will be shocked.
I As always, worth saying, everyone did have an insane season. Nijimura with the winning defensive player of the year has to be out of this, but Seiya with the sack record, Connor Craig, Jr., and the insane rushing, and then no picks with the ridiculous efficiency. Um, but I do think this is McMorris, and it is.
I think that's Tubby, right?
That is Tubby Tim. Congratulations, my friend. Well deserved.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming for him to put up an insane season.
Yep, stuck in the backfield rotation for a while, finally gets it to himself and just goes off.
Who thought that we needed to trade our other elite running back for him to pop off? The crazy ride to get here.
Congrats, congrats, Tim.
Absolutely. And finally, our Hall of Fame. If I'm correct, we have two. Our first is Unconfidence player Carly Rae Jensen, an Ulster Copperhead from season 38 to season 49. She was an Ultimate Champion in season 45, a first team All Pro in season 42, made three second team All Pros, and was a 5-time Pro Bowler. I'll leave that up for a minute. And finally, we have Alex Armstrong, a Sabercat from season 40 to season 52. He was a 7-time first team All Pro, which is just insane, and a 5-time second team All Pro as well. An 11-time Pro Bowler, 19th overall in career TFLs, and 22nd overall in career safeties. The number of Pro Bowls or all pros, excuse me, is filthy for Dorlio there. You have a
So
13 season career. In 12 of them he made an all pro.
I know there's not a whole lot of competition for defensive end most of the time, but still that means at right at the very beginning when he's under 500, right at the very end when he's playing with 300, still making all pros.
That is ridiculous. Like act 7 team all pro, sometimes first team all pro is actually ridiculous.
Oh yeah, one of the best defensive ends in league history for sure.
I think that ends my lovely award show. The screen has gone black. I'll give my two illustrious co-hosts time to say some final words, and then we'll take us out.
Not much to say. Congratulations, everyone. We'll have the what's it called? The SIGs signatures up soon.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
congrats to all of our award winners and all of our and all-star all pro teams. I'm tired. But everyone deserves those awards. Um, yeah, congrats.
Congratulations, all. I am sure that you will hear some of us back here next year for the same song and dance. So with that, I will close this out. How do I get back?